And eventually he got to his point, which is that he wanted to come back to the company full time and be CEO. And for a moment, I thought he was firing me because Reed had more equity than I did since he was the uh, original investor. And but as I understood what he was proposing, it wasn't that. He was proposing that he come in as CEO, that I stay as COO, and that we essentially run the company together. And I remember as he finally, he left the office and he quietly closed the door. And I was so shocked that even though the sun was going down, I sat there in the dark, like the strength to turn the lights on, and just kind of crushed. And all I could think at the time was, this is so unfair. This is my company. I started this. It was my idea. I hired the people. I got us going. And how dare you, all of a sudden take this from me? But as I thought more about it, I kind of realized that there was another dynamic at work here. And like most entrepreneurs, when we started Netflix, I had this dream of being a successful CEO of this big, successful company. And I think as I sat there, I began to realize that maybe this wasn't one dream. Maybe this was two different dreams. And that the dream of the big, successful company might be a different dream than the one of me being CEO. And I had to really say to myself, does Reed coming in full-time as CEO increase our chances of that happening? And it was really hard for me to argue with myself otherwise. And I'm not saying this was an easy decision. And I went home that night and sat outside in the porch with my wife, and we finished a bottle of wine. And I think by the time I went to bed that night, I kind of had concluded that he was right, that if we really wanted to give ourselves the best chances of being successful, that I should move over. I should step down as CEO and let Reed come in as CEO. And we should run the company together. And looking back now, this was 20 some odd years ago, that decision to kind of put my ego aside for a bit was probably the smartest decision I ever made the entire